Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam yashala. Koholoyim la Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bahashem Kahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. That by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water toward the H.I.M, Aqua. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to the best of their ability. Yeshach the Waf just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Wanted to touch on this article. It's something that the elders, the apostles and elders, bishops on down been going into as far as, kind of minding your business, man. You got to let shit ride. You got to let people do their own thing, because when you come into this truth, there's going to be a lot of things that's, demons or, spirits that's going to be trying to absorb you into bullshit. Straight up. I'm just being straight up. And they can, it can be your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your friends, or these people that's saying that they're your friends. Now this particular story right here, let's play the video real quick, and we'll just grab a couple of scriptures, by the Spirit.
Into an unsolved murder. It has been more than a year since Terrence Eggleston Jr. was shot and killed on Detroit's west side. We're glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Terrence's family and friends have been fighting for months to get justice. They're reaching out to us tonight with questions why no arrests have been made.
Our Sean Lay's been tracking this story for us, and Sean, you spoke with Terrence's mother.
We did. We will hear from her in a moment. We also spoke with the prosecutor's office, telling us right now the evidence that they have points to self-defense. His mother, however, says two key people have not talked to police yet. They need to step up and tell what they saw. Terrence Eggleston Jr. was shot and killed in this area of Ward and Puritan on Detroit's west side. It happened more than a year ago, July 16th of 2022. The man who shot Eggleston multiple times has been walking free ever since. Eggleston was known as Tank. Monica Eggleston is Tank's mother.
He took my son away from me. My family is struggling dealing with this. When I say I have a lot of memories of my son, but the most important and loving memories I have of him, how he grew up. I just want justice for my son. I don't feel like my son is at peace. He know his parents is not at peace.
It all went down as Tank was trying to get his young cousin away from a domestic situation. Monica Eggleston says for no reason the man in...
And let me just say, she said that she know that her son is not at peace. No, he's at peace. He's at peace, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is how, a lot of people, they just don't know the scriptures. Now, matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. Salakia. Okay, Job chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 16, get to the point. And this is Job. He's giving a description of what goes on, basically when you pass away. And your spirit is at peace. You are at peace. Your spirit returns back to Yahweh that gave it, man. I can grab that as well, because, Christians, they have painted this picture that, there's this red guy, he's got on the, the red suit, he's got the pitchfork, he's got the horns on his head. Sometimes you'll see a picture of him, got a nice trimmed up gold tee. You know what I'm saying? And he's described as Satan, the devil. And there's this burning fire that he's standing around, and he just can't wait for you to get there. That's not in the scriptures, man. That is all fairy tales. That's a fable. Scriptures talks about staying away from fairy tales and fables, man. But anyway, let's get this Job 3. I'm going to start at verse 16. And he's basically, he's going through his torment, so to speak. And he's basically like, why could not just, not have been born, so to speak. But anyway, verse 16. Or as in hidden, untimely birth, I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There, it says, there the wicked cease from troubling. And there the weary be at rest. See? There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul, which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hid treasures. But the point that I wanted to get is that they're there. You know what I'm saying? The spirits go back to Yahweh that gave them. You know what I'm saying? So let me get that. And they're at peace, basically. They're at peace, man. Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. See? So your spirit goes back to the spirit world. It goes back to Yahweh that gave it. It's not going down to some burning place underground, man, under the earth, like how, these Christians, say. That's not true. So, when you pass, especially the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, hey, you're, hey, that's why, Samuel, he said, hey, don't, matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. Samuel basically told Saul when he pulled him up, he had the medium or the, the little witch. She summoned Samuel from the grave, so to speak, for Saul. Man, Saul was like, man, what the hell hey, look, why Saul didn't want to come back here. You see what I'm saying? Let's see if we can find that though. Okay, yeah, Salaki. It's 1 Samuel chapter 28. Let me just go into it. We'll get, grab a couple of verses for context. This is verse, so basically Saul wasn't hearing from Yahweh. He wasn't getting no visions. He wasn't, getting anything, no answers, no nothing. His prayers wasn't being answered by Yahweh. So he basically was like, hey, well, I'm going to go and check out this witch, so to speak, or this medium, right? So this is verse 11. Samuel 28:11, it says, Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. Because it was, Saul had actually made it against the law, and you would be put to death if you was found to be doing this particular type of witchcraft, right? But he broke the, the oath himself because he was trying to get answers from the Lord. So he couldn't get answers from the Lord, so he's trying to get answers from Saul. And check out what Saul says. It says, And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he? What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stopped with his face, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, this is the point that I wanted to get. Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophet, nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. But basically Saul, hey, look, man, why you disquieted me? And the NLT over here says, Why have you disturbed me by calling me back? Samuel asked Saul. See, he like, man, why you disturbed me? Because Samuel was at peace. And that's all the spirits that go back to the Lord, man. That's everybody that dies. They might die a horrific death here on the planet, on earth. But when they go back to the spirit world, hey, they're at peace. They're at peace. They actually, this guy's back in the spirit world. He knows he's an Israelite. He would never want to come back here. He'll be just like Samuel. If somebody was to call him back up, like, man, he'd be like, man, what the fuck you doing? No, I don't want to come. I don't want to be back here. What you doing? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go back off into the article. Because it's another point that I want to get out of this. We're just going to make points as the spirit,
involved shot her son to death. More than a year later, no.
Let me back it up a little bit. It's a lot.
His parents is not at peace.
It all went down as Tank was trying to get his young cousin away from a domestic situation. Monica Eggleston says for no reason.
See? He was trying to get his young cousin away from a domestic situation. Right? Let me back it up again. This is what the apostles, elders and bishops been talking about. Yo, peoples can get you fucked up, man. Because you don't know the situation before you get there. A man and a woman having a dispute, that's a whole nother area of anger. And there's a lot of men in graves. There's a lot of men in jail. And a lot of men that are in wheelchairs, maimed, arm gone, a chunk of head gone, all kinds of shit, dealing with their girl cousins, their sisters. They're trying to save one of them, and they the problem. And I'm not saying that, you know, this person is the problem in this particular relationship here. But when I read the story, I'm like, okay, this shit is cold. You know what I'm saying? But let's get the rest. Let's see.
I have a lot of memories of my son, but the most important and loving memories I have of him, how he grew up. I just want justice for my son. I don't feel like my son is at peace. He know his parents is not at peace.
It all went down as Tank was trying to get his young cousin away from a domestic situation. Monica Eggleston says for no reason the man involved shot her son to death. More than a year later, no arrests. Apparently the cousin and gunman aren't talking and police need more to get an arrest warrant.
What hurt me the most,
The cousin and the gunman are not cooperating. You know why the cousin and the gunman are not cooperating? Because the cousin and the gunman are still together. See? This is what I'm getting out of the story when I read it, right? The cousin, the girl cousin, she's in love with this nigga and she's still with him. And guess what? She's not about to get this nigga up for her cousin unless they go sour. He would have to really do something real dirty to her, like leave her for another bitch, you know, so to speak. And she just get this real grimy mindset about this. I hate this nigga. I'm gonna go and tell the police, yeah, that day he done this, and this, and my cousin wasn't doing nothing. That's when she'll spill the beans. But in the meanwhile, and I had a situation like that when I was growing up. I learned that early. And I was way before I came into the truth. You know, sometimes life will teach you lessons. One of my sisters, she was dealing with this guy. They ended up getting into it. Same old situation. You know, a brother. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, we gonna chop it up for the sisters. Beefing with that family. I'm talking about, because it wasn't just me. It was the whole family against a whole family that was into this beef. Every time you look around, you know, niggas had guns, you know, the whole thing, the whole shebang. This was way back in the days when I was younger, you know, fiery. But you know what I'm saying? The whole time, about a year, the whole family going back and forth with that family. And you know what? Them two was ended. They was creeping at night, hooking back up with each other, hugged up and kissing and loving on each other. In the meanwhile, everybody else beefing. We didn't even know until, you know, ended up, you know, seeing them. Oh, so y'all, how long this been going on? How long y'all been back together? See? And then another situation. This was maybe around the same time. Anyway. Knew this, you know, well, I knew both of them because it was, you know, small town in Alabama. So everybody knew everybody. So this guy, you know, he's dating this girl. A lot of her cousins, you know, everybody used to come down there for the holidays or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how, you know, them old country towns be. They, you know, all those people that leave and go to the cities, they always want to come back and show off. You know, so, you know, she had a whole bunch of cousins and stuff like that from Philadelphia. They all come down for Christmas holidays. And, you know, she's so in love with this dude. They get into it. He beating her up. He slapping her around. Black eye, this, that, and the third, whatever. So her cousin's from Philly. Of course, I'm from Philly, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know how they think about country people. They just think they doofy, whatever. Anyway, cousin tried to get into it. That nigga ended up shooting and killing him. Salaki, I got to get done with this lesson. I got about 5%. But he ended up shooting and killing him. And what's so cold about it, he walked on top of the guy, stood on top of his chest, you know, while he was, you know, and basically just stood on him while he took his last breath. You know who that batch of trash was with when court hit? She was on his side, sitting behind him, boo-hooing for this nigga. Her cousin gone. Her whole family. This nigga was sitting there with, you know what I'm saying, his couple of family members and her. Her family was sitting on the other side about 100 deep. Looking at this bitch like, is you crazy? So I learned that early in life. Learned it early, man. Meddle not in other people's business. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick and I'll, you know, because I'm about to end this out anyway. Like I said, I only got 15% left anyway. Hey, with this, you have to be careful with stuff like this. Because, see, this is her cousin. Her cousin trying to help her. She knows what really happened. He's not saying anything, and she's not. If anything, she should be saying something. You know, but I mean, you know, hey, I mean, I can't call that neither, because a man, hey, that matter of fact, the scriptures talks about a man. What is how that scripture goes? I'm gonna have to come back to this. Let me see if I can find this. Salakia, found that bad boy. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 19. The way, no, I got to go into it. Let me go into it a little. Matter of fact, it was just a chapter over from the one that I needed. Salak, verse 18. It says, there be three things which are too wonderful for me. Yeah, four which I know not. Check it out. The way of an eagle in the air, that is a beautiful flight. I mean, the way that they, you know, eagle in the air, man, is beautiful. That's wonderful. The way of a serpent upon a rock. I've never seen that, so I'm not sure. The way of a ship in the midst of a sea. Hey, yeah, I guess that's wonderful too, considering how big the sea is. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, boats are big, but man, it's just a tiny molecule when it comes to the size of the ocean, man. And check it out. This is the point. And the way of a man with his maid. Hey, that's it. Let me get it in the NOT over here. It says how an eagle glides through the sky, how a snake slithers on a rock, how a ship navigates the ocean, how a man loves a woman. You see? And not only a man loves a woman, but a woman loves a man. You see what I'm saying? But you know, hey, men know. Men go through a whole lot, man, dealing with women, man. You know, that's why her male cousin was basically probably trying to do what he was trying to do. Hey, man, that's my cuz, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, you can't go to the house. And see, that's another thing, too. See, you gotta, this is where it's going to all come down to the battle of being in this truth and dealing with your family. Because your family is going to be looking at you like you're just supposed to be this nigga. Well, why do you help her? Well, why do you? Hey, you into this truth and you kind of get more wisdom. You're like, hold on, man, fuck out of here. I know that nigga and I know her. You know what I'm saying? I know that she's nitpicky. I know this, and this. I know that nigga crazy. That nigga just got out of jail. He already got 2 bodies. I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? But your family will be looking at you like, that's just like the chick that supposedly got hit in the head with the brick. Niggas out here, and no, they seen that man hit me. Come to find out it was a goddamn scam. Anyway. Salakia, man. Like I said, I only got like 3%. Let's get the rest of this and close out. Salat.
Is my son went over there and got killed for no reason.
Yeah.
That is what deep down in my heart is really hurting me.
Being a peacemaker.
Just being a peacemaker. And that's all he was going over there to do.
Back here live, also check with Detroit police. They say they have certainly not forgotten about Tank's case. It is wide open with a homicide detective. But if they get more people to come in and tell them what happened, they can certainly present that to the prosecutor's office as well. Tank's mom basically saying she wants to be seen and heard in this case, and that's exactly what we're doing tonight. Kimberly, Devin.
Okay, Sean.
Okay, you get it. Nigga named Tank. Come on, man. Tank. We already know the nickname Tank. I think almost every nigga in the hood got a cousin named Tank. Somebody in the family name is nicknamed Tank. Why? Because he's supposed to be so goddamn tough. Anyway, that's another thing too. You gotta just never mind me, man. But you put things together, man, when you dealing with you dealing with the scriptures, man. By the Spirit, you just kind of you gotta link stuff. You know, the Spirit brings that stuff together, man. Anyway, let me just grab this one last scripture. This is the one scripture I wanted to get here. What was it? Man, it's best. Hey, call 911. Call 911. Is it so? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously she didn't want to leave. What you trying to? Hey, let them go ahead and do their thing. Hey, look, cuz I'm out. You gonna stay here? Okay, I'm out. Hey y'all, all right, y'all have a good one. Proverbs 26 and 17. He that passeth by the lift that walking up from you of just jumping and hitting your goddamn voice box, man. Gnawing on your neck, man. That's how serious that is. That's like the guy that got killed in the Walmart. Because the brothers was doing lessons on that. That was about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The guy got killed in a Walmart. He's with his baby moms. Well, not baby moms, his wife. I ain't gonna say that because they was together. You know what I'm saying? They was at Walmart. Got there, I think the baby was like 1 year old. Some dude whooping down his woman at the store. He goes over there and his woman is trying to tell him, baby, don't go over there. Don't do that. Don't deal with that. Let's go. He goes over there and get his ass shot 6 times. A Jake. So this is what we saying, hey, especially in these last days, man. Because, hey, I just got, hey, I gotta say, hey, man, but fucking women out here just wicked as hell. You gonna throw your whole shit away for some wicked ass chick? Get the hell out of here, man. You know, I mean, every situation is different. Every situation is different. But when you just, you walking into something, like, you know, you making it your business to get into that shit? Man. That's not wise these days. People are not playing no games. You know what? The woman will turn on you. That nigga can be slapping. That happens all the time too. He could be whooping her down. You get to dealing with him. Now she's trying to take up for him on you. Both of them whooping your ass. I've seen, man, come on, bro. You got to be careful out here, man. Now it's not the time to be dealing like that because there's a lot of shady shit going on. That social media done drove chicks crazy as hell. Social media done drove these goddamn, these silly ass niggas, man, they being raised by these crazy ass chicks, man. Get the hell out of here, man. They emotional. There's no conversation with them whatsoever. It's just all rage, anger, brutish, sottish, just niggas, man. You let that. When it comes, that's why the scripture talks about anger, man. Being slow to anger, because that shit, man, can get you. Look, every single situation a person really is in, it's generally they can't control their spirit, man. They can't control themselves. Because you trying to tell me out of everything that could have been done, he had to pull a gun and shoot this guy? He could have just been like, he probably was telling that nigga, hey, mind your business. But somebody should have had sense enough to say, hey, look, hey, you know, hey. Now, he gets basically off because it's his word against the dead man's word. And the cousin is not saying nothing. Hey, yo, this nigga ran up on me with self-defense. You see? This nigga ran up on me with and it could have been self-defense. So Salaki, I mean, it is what it is. But had he been minding his fucking business, self-defense wouldn't have to have been used on him. Whether it was, you know, he was, you know, it wasn't his fucking business. Cuz don't want to go. He's trying to get her to go. I mean, because I'm talking about people when it comes to stuff like that, people kind of generally know their cousins and their family. Like they kind of know how they are. Like, you know what? I already know. Let me go ahead and, hey, look, cuz, you coming with me? Oh, you know, hey, y'all calm that down, man. Hey, just chill. But I'm out, though. I'm getting in my vehicle, and I'm moving on along. I'm not about to be tussling with no nigga because, look, they're on people. People. Was they were 1%. The you know, they're days. I'm talking about these days. and it was, the father was generally hooking his daughter up with somebody that he knew would take care of her. And it was just it was like why would you hook your seed up, your child up with, or, with somebody, even with your boys, you want them to be with somebody that you know. Because generally back then, everybody kind of knew everybody. He done watch, he probably grew up with this guy. He knew him to be a good guy. He knew him to, be raising his children by the law, statutes, and commandments. He know that the guy that they're seeing him at the synagogue, every, Shabbat, and just breaking bread with him here and there. And he just knows him. They've helped each other out with the land and, them plowed fields and shit together. So, I know this man. He got good sons and good daughters. That's the way that it was back then. But now, you done met this nigga on social media. She done went out with this nigga and got pregnant. You know what I'm saying? They done been together for 2 years and this nigga ain't met nobody. This is the days and times that you're living in. So when it comes straight down to, me defending, on that level, it's like, come on, bro. Man, that shit is not smart. Anyway, I wanted to touch on that. I got about 2% here left. But let me get this again. Proverbs 26:17. He that passeth by is like one that taketh the dog by the ears. Now, like I said again, you're not going to stand there and just be doofy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Every situation is different. But when it comes to them lover quarrels and things of that nature, somebody calling you, you at home, you chilling, and they calling you to some bullshit. Hey, look, man. But then they can't tell you what's really going on. It's just a bunch of damn screaming in the background. And, I mean, like I said, every situation is different. You got to play it with wisdom, though, man. You got to play it with wisdom, man. If somebody is saying, okay, hey, can you come pick me up? I mean, and you pray to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai about every situation, though. Every situation, like I said, is going to be with some out, man. They're going to be right back. That's why the scripture talks about when you leave how's it worded? Leave your father and mother. Let me see. Trying to think how it's worded. Yep, Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. So when you leave your father and your mother, hey, look, man, your household is your household, and that's supposed to be between you and your woman. It's not supposed to be between your woman, your father, your mother, your sisters and brothers and aunties. Everybody don't supposed to know your business, man, in your household. Because what's going to happen is y'all going to brush that shit over. Y'all was mad and heated at the time. It's going to eventually blow over. And now your dad, mad. Your mama mad at this nigga still. Your cousins and them, everybody mad still. They just can't stand this nigga. It's 5 years later. They still remembering the bullshit at your Christmas dinner. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.